Can someone tell me what the hell's going on with Lamar Jackson? Because I, for one, am very confused. But let's talk about it. I'm Omer from Real Take Sports. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that jazz. All right, so Lamar Jackson. We're hearing a lot of hoopla, a lot of hullabaloo, a lot of stuff about this whole situation. As a Ravens fan, I will say this. I'm more confused than anyone. As someone who's watched the product and someone who's kept up with the Baltimore Ravens, I can honestly say that Lamar Jackson is more than deserving of a fully guaranteed contract, more than deserving of a max contract, 200 plus $1 million, whatever you want to call it. He's more than deserving for all of that. However, for whatever reason, the Baltimore Ravens feel as if they can get away with not paying him and hope that they can still keep him and keep that relationship alive and well. And for them, I have some bad news because this relationship is barely alive. It's on life support. It would need some oxygen. It needs a lot of help. It needs a lot of medicine and healing for to save whatever remains of the relationship between the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And on top of that, guys, ain't no respect there from Baltimore right now. There's no respect from the league right now, the way they seem to be treating Lamar Jackson, because there seems to be some sort of a coordinated effort, honestly. Again, allegedly, there seems to be some sort of coordinated effort for teams not wanting to pay Lamar Jackson. It could stem from the fact that you have this report of teams apparently calling the Baltimore Ravens and telling them, hey, don't pay Lamar X amount of guaranteed money because it's definitely going to inflate the market the next time quarterbacks are going to get paid. And I know that sounds stupid and very conspiratorial. It sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it actually makes sense when you think about it because everyone in the NFL kind of treats that whole Deshaun Watson contract as an outlier. No, there's very few people who genuinely treat it as like, oh, that's the amount of money the top quarterback should be getting paid. But with Lamar Jackson, that changed the game because then it's not just one outlier. Then you have a trend building. That the top two players in the NFL, both quarterbacks, both making 200 whatever plus $1 million, get fully guaranteed. For owners, they don't want that because they want to try to minimize the amount of money they can pay a guy. And they'll make up excuses. A lot of people have been making up excuses like, "Oh, well, Lamar Jackson's a running quarterback. He don't throw the ball. do." It's bull. We all know it's bull. This dude won the MVP, led the NFL in touchdown passes in 2019 with Seth Roberts, Willie Snead, and whatever was left of Hollywood Brown that year as his number one receivers. I don't want to hear crap about he can't throw the ball. I don't want to hear crap about he's not a good pocket passer because quite frankly, and you want to talk about injuries, right? People are like, oh, he gets injured. The only time this dude has ever gotten injured is from when he was in the pocket. He's never gotten injured running the ball. Like, there's very few running quarterbacks I've ever seen that have been able to take care of themselves and minimize the big hits like Lamar Jackson has, especially someone who runs as much as he has. And this is a guy who's taken like nearly 1,000 hits for this franchise, and the Baltimore Ravens have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to be like, "Oh well, we're gonna slap you with the non-exclusive tag and allow other teams to have a crack at you, and hey, we might match, but then we also might get 2 first-round picks." Do. Give me a break. Like, we're supposed to sit here and believe that this is what like one of the classiest divisions in football. We're supposed to believe that this is like, oh, the Baltimore Ravens play like a Raven, the epitome of what's great about organizations in the NFL. I'm supposed to believe that as a fan. I'm supposed to want to buy season tickets. I'm supposed to want to buy into this product to spend my time, forget my hard-earned money, my time watching 3 hours every week for an entire season, investing countless hours covering the Ravens as a YouTuber, and then spend other countless hours talking about this team, having it basically take over my life. You want me to do that, but you're not willing to invest the amount of money that you have. Steve Bisciotti has the money. The NFL has the money. Don't ever be like, oh, it's a cap thing. The cap's going up, and it's going to go up significantly in the next few years. Everyone knows that. Yet we're still sitting here having this BS conversation about whether or not the dude deserves money. Of course he deserves it. The Ravens just too cheap to pay it. Let's be honest. Let's tell it like it is. Let me give you guys a real take. Like no, miss me with all that. Like Lamar Jackson, this dude has done everything that this franchise has wanted him to do and more outside of winning a Super Bowl. And you still got these petty ass fans going out there and being like, well, he doesn't deliver in the playoffs. Do. Doesn't deliver in the play. He's the reason we're in the playoffs. People are like, well, if Tyler Huntley isn't that bad. He made the Pro Bowl. Tyler Huntley in the Pro Bowl? The Pro Bowl? What are we talking? You're not having a serious conversation if you're using the Pro Bowl as a reason to keep Tyler Huntley as your starting quarterback if you're the Baltimore Ravens. I'm so sorry. No disrespect to Snoop. We were in a tough spot this year, and he weathered the storm as best he could. The dude isn't the starting quarterback of the Ravens, doesn't deserve to be the starting quarterback of the Ravens because they have Lamar Jackson. It's as simple as that. When he's on the field, when Lamar plays, more often than not, 70% of the time, the Ravens win. When he's not, they do a lot of L. They take a lot of L's. They do a lot of losing, and John Harbaugh's ass is always on the on the hot seat whenever Lamar doesn't play. Had Lamar not taken over the Baltimore Ravens as a starting quarterback in 2018, John Harbaugh would not be the coach. John Harbaugh would not have a Coach of the Year trophy in at home in his basement or wherever he's keeping that thing. Like his career or his time as the Baltimore Ravens head coach was extended because of Lamar Jackson. And the fact that, him and I'm not gonna say Ozzy because it's Eric DeCosta and all these guys are being like, well, we don't got the money. We don't got the money. We'll see. Ha ha ha. Maybe we'll get some first round picks. First round picks, my G. You got one of the best talents that the NFL has ever seen at number 32. All you have to do is pay him. And this is wild. This is wild, by the way. The Ravens have been running one of the weakest offensive schemes in the NFL. Like one of the most predictable, weakest offensive schemes. And they still win behind this guy. And they still win. Imagine what they'd be doing if this dude was actually given a good offensive coordinator. An offensive coordinator, I'm sorry, because Greg Roman was a good offensive coordinator for a few years, but an offensive coordinator who's actually a little creative, an offensive coordinator who wants to focus on the pass because God bless him, but Greg Roman, we know what his MO is. He's a running coach. That's what he is, and he leans into that, and it works until it doesn't. We saw it in San Francisco, and now we've seen it in Baltimore. So imagine what you could do with this guy if you had the pieces around him to make it work. And if you wanted to make it work, quite frankly. Right now, I'm really like, as a Ravens fan, guys, I'm pissed off, to be honest with you. I'm pretty pissed off, and it frustrates me because I do want to do those things that I talked about earlier. I do want to talk about the Ravens every week with my friends. I do want to watch the games. I do want to analyze the games. I do want to talk about how much I love the Ravens, but I can't do that when they don't when they don't take it as seriously as I do. And they're the ones getting paid to do it. We just do it for fun, right? But they're the ones getting paid to do it, and then that should kind of grind your gears a little bit if you're being honest. But as far as Lamar's future, like we could talk about it till we're blue in the face. We won't know until we know. All this stuff that's coming out, it ain't good. Bottom line, it ain't good. And to be honest with y'all, the the longer this goes on, the longer this drags out, the more I think that Lamar Jackson is no longer going to be a Baltimore Raven at the end of the day. And that could mean after this year, that could mean before this year he gets traded. But I, there's a clock on this, and eventually the clock's gonna run out. And I really hope they find a way to keep him, and I hope they pay him. But nothing is guaranteed any given Sunday, right? Guys, let me know what you guys think about this situation. Am I wrong? Is Lamar not a good quarterback? Let me know. Take those L's in the chat or in the comment section. Let me know about it. Be sure to also hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And until next time, keep it real.